Sorry. We're good, yeah?
Yeah, oh yeah, we're
Okay.
good. We've had
We've got this turned around the way it needs to be.
yeah, we're all good. Hello everybody. And welcome back to the Langest of Time Studios. Wow, it's kind of funny. The first comment was Mateus that didn't get any ranking. The second comment was Madeline James, who came in at second. Then Tinguish jumps in at first. I have no idea how this experience thing works. But hello, everybody. If you missed it today at 11 a.m., there was a premiere for Madeline James's vlog for KopiCon 2. It was, and so it was a fun time. We were there. I mean, it was a pre-recorded video, so we were just watching and commenting. But you can, of course, go back and rewatch it. It's a little over a half an hour, and it's Madeline's review of KopiCon and what she did while she was there. And it includes a lot of interviews with people who shared their words for rock in their various conlangs, or whether it's rock or types of rock. Anyway, it's called KopiCon Rocks. You can go and find it over at Madeline James World Builds. You can also find Madeline and Jake almost every Monday at a very specific time that I think is noon, but might be 1 p.m. Pacific.
You're doing better than I am, because I thought it was 1:30, but that's Tuesday with Let's Have a Booba.
Yeah, Tuesday, Let's Have a Booba at 1:30 Pacific. Every Monday at 12 p.m. Pacific is Madeline Jake's World Building.
Did you say 12?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Oh,
There was a surprise bib this week.
we missed a
it.
surprise bib.
God.
Okay. I'm working on getting things open.
Yeah, I've been sick for a long time. I'm willing to call myself better now, even though my throat still feels this weird rawness.
I mean, that's unfortunate, but also we've had really, really, really shoddy air quality
Oh, I
here.
see.
And so, like, I'm honestly not surprised.
Yeah.
And also now that some of the air quality has simmered down, I just need to dust again, because
I need to get up
We've
on
had-
vacuuming. Honestly, my cleaning really took a nosedive. leading up to
it's
KopiCon.
been a heck of a fall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so just to kind of move us along, let's take a look at the poll, because I think this is going to be really quick and really easy to understand. So to catch everybody up, we realized last week, when it came to romanization, we were going to have a hard time romanizing the amount of tones that we had and nasalized vowels.
Okay.
And so that led us to say, why don't we just get rid of the nasalized vowels?
That's right.
Yeah.
Also, I'm just not feeling it for these. I mean, I know that they apparently use a lot of nasal things, but I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just not
No, I agree.
feeling it for this language.
I agree. We did it for the cat language. And so there art thou happy. And so we decided that in order to do this, there's nasal codas often have an effect on a preceding vowel, not just nasalization, but they often lower a preceding high vowel. And so we used this opportunity to give us some mid-vowels. So we said that nasalized vowels, high nasalized vowels, lowered from to and then from to and then they just lost their nasalization. So became and became o. And it doesn't really matter what their specific height is because they're not contrasting with anything aside from high or low vowels. But that left us with the low nasalized vowels. So we had an becoming what? We didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave you 3 options and decided to let you vote on those options.
And I am excited to find out.
So, first option was the easiest. It just lost its nasalization. So, in other words, it's fine to go from to a. And that was option A. A, a.
Ha ha ha!
Very simple. Option B was that it was going to pull it up a little bit. So, if the ordinary vowel was a, then would be a little bit higher, which means that when it lost its nasalization, it would be reinterpreted as O.
But the A and O that are nasalized would stay there because they're not going to re-raise to
Correct.
the high vowels.
Correct. So now we have 2 sources of O if we go with option B. We didn't consider or just didn't allow for the possibility that we would have like O versus O. Sorry, I did that a little nasal. O versus O.
Mm-hmm.
From the different sources of nasalized vowels. So we just said is going to O. This is a sound change that I did in Erathiant, kind of, but without the nasalization and without the loss of the coda nasal.
I love that you take out 2/3 of the equation.
Well,
But
basically, an is surfaces as on.
mm-hmm.
And so if there was, say, I don't know, an adjective that surfaces
You've got it, babe.
as like inana,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because, inana. Sometimes the adjectives lose their final vowel, depending on what they're co-occurring with. And so inan would come out as inon.
Nice.
Inon. Okay, anyway, all right. Option C was obviously to have the nasalized go to a velar fricative, voiceless velar fricative. No, kidding. The X,
no, that makes perfect sense. I'm on it.
I know.
I'm
The
on it.
the X was there to say that it goes to something. Something that ultimately we would end up turning into something else. So in other words, would either become or something. And then we would end up killing it later on. So it didn't really matter what it was at this point. We were ultimately going to kill it. All right? Incidentally, though, in the comments on Patreon, Jake gave a pretty entertaining series of sound changes that would get us from
See, it's totally there.
It's worth a look. Anyway, so we sent that out for votes. Very, very clear first, second, and third. Distant third was option A. They just didn't want to just like say, becomes nasalized, then loses it. So option A was the loser. It did get votes, but it got very, very few votes. So option A was out. It was between B and C. I was a little surprised. Patrons voted in favor of what they can see versus what they can't see. And so option B was the clear winner. So our nasalized is going to be going to O, and there's going to be a merger.
Nice.
So yeah, there we go. Nice and neat.
And more O's.
And more O's, which is good.
And to address anime fans' question, we will not be streaming on Thursday of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's not next Thursday, it's the Thursday after. So 2 weeks from today, we will not be streaming due to
So it'd be November 27th.
American holiday.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. I'm going to take a moment to look at chat. I don't know why. Damn throat thing. I swear I'm better. But like I'm feeling better in my head. I'm feeling, clearer. So that's good. But
I do want to point out that your water bottle was as full as it was last night when I filled it before you went to bed.
Well, I don't
You
drink a lot.
haven't drank any water, and you wonder why your throat's a little sore.
I was
He
sleeping
needs to drink more.
last night.
You were not sleeping for the last 7 hours. You woke up not 7 hours.
I had
5 hours. You woke up 5 hours ago.
I had a coffee beverage and I had a little bit of guava juice
Anyway.
for my pills.
I'm trying to get David to drink more water. Anywho. Oh, man.
by the way-
Madeline is asking if we want to stream eating Thanksgiving dinner. That could be fun.
That could be. I'll do it together.
It'd be us and the rents
Yeah.
and the dogs, because you know the dogs will be in there.
Well, given when your dad likes to
Eats.
have dinner.
It would be a very odd time. Although I will say for big things like this, he's more likely to have a normal time for eating. But my dad is famous for, especially in the summer, like in the fall/winter when it gets dark earlier, eating times get more normal because he comes inside. But in the
makes sense.
summer when the sun is out, longer, he basically works until the sun sets and then starts cooking dinner. And so when you visit him in the summer, he is notorious for serving 9:30 or 10 p.m. meals because he doesn't stop working until the sun does. And so there's an argument against daylight savings time. Let's keep it on regular time. Let's not make it an hour more of sunshine. Let's get people so they can eat in the summer. That's what we need to do.
It's a very Spanish lifestyle our father has adopted.
It's not adopted. It's like that's how you did on the farm.
Yeah.
The sun is out, you're out working.
By the way,
sun isn't, you go back in.
to address the motivation behind anime fans' question, of course, the Thanksgiving stream is when we did the reindeer and penguin languages. We haven't done something like that in a while.
Are you feeling
I don't know what kind of time we'll have.
peckish for something?
But let's see. We've done reindeer. We've done. Wait, was it reindeer and penguins or reindeer and polar bears?
No, penguins.
It was penguins. So we haven't done polar bears.
Well, no, because you had specifically said we weren't doing super large mammals. And reindeer is the largest we've gone.
Well, and penguins aren't even mammals.
Well, yeah, but if we're not beholden to those things, then
Yeah.
we could also do turtles.
Oh, well, I was thinking more wintry ones, but yeah, I suppose.
Yes, we also haven't done a turkey language. That was another idea tossed about at one point.
Well, those are large animals, like 20, 30 feet tall.
Yeah, very large.
Yeah.
And so we do we
Turtles.
do have potential. Or we could do the cousin to the bat language that is the fairy language, as bats and fairies are one and the same according to Hungarian lore.
Oh, that's right.
Thank you to Bubba for sharing that video.
Yeah, that was a great one. All right. Let's add our new rule to our language.
Mm-hmm.
It's somebody edited the document.
I know it's been weird about showing. I think it's me. They keep calling me somebody.
Okay. Now this is something that we're just adding to an already existing rule. But we're going to, instead of calling this vowel lowering, we're going to call this vowel, I guess, centralization. It kind of implies the wrong thing. Rather than going this way, they're coming this way. But there's no, like, midification.
I feel like a whole lot of words were just pushed at me. Isn't it raising?
Well, it's raising for ah, but it's lowering for e and oo.
I thought we already did E and U. I thought those were separate, and they're just going to lose their nasality.
No, this rule that is lowering e and oo should also raise ah. I'm sorry, e and oo should also raise ah. And then a separate rule is going to delete their nasalization. Biblaridian says, who could forget the amazing word teeth, a ring of dead penguins. I can't remember us doing Isn't it just centralization? I guess. All right. So, let's say minus high, minus low. All right, there we go. So,
Oh, right. So the penguin episode was actually New Year's Eve. I think the reindeer one was actually Christmas, not Thanksgiving.
Okay, there we go. And this is Tiny Genesis. And it's going to be before this, so we need a new rule. Additionally, oh no, I'm sorry. No, we don't need a new rule. Additionally, it's part of this rule. Additionally, vowel nasalization is lost. This results tid.
Jake, I don't even know what I meant by that. I once told Jake the world is going to roll them. Roll. World's going to roll you. Like that feels. I don't know. What did I mean? Was it some deep thing? Was I making a metaphor?
Is this a pillow world thing? Where Jake heard roll, but you said rule or rural?
But that wouldn't make sense either.
It's a song reference.
It's because okay.
Ever seen Shrek?
Are you talking about All Star? Ah, no. I don't remember that particular line.
Wait, somebody once told me the world's gonna roll me. Is that what it is? Is that what the lyrics are?
Oh, now I gotta look it up.
Oh my god, really? My head just did da-da-da-da-da while I was listening to that.
Like, I'm literally singing the song
The
in my head.
world is gonna roll me. Oh my god. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. That's the first line of the song.
I think I always heard rule in my head. R-U-L-E. Like, I think I was just like, oh, it's gonna roll me.
I heard stone.
Was gonna stone you.
Yeah, somebody once told me the world is gonna stone me or something like that. I don't know. I just paid no attention to it at all. At all.
But also that song is, was known well outside of Shrekdom, I will say.
Yeah. No, that song was famous well before Shrek. When did Shrek come out? Like, wasn't it the 2000s?
I feel like it was 2000 and...
Yeah, that was
2000.
Smash.
I feel like it's 2000.
That was Smash Mouth. That was like our senior year of high school. That was like
Yeah.
one of the popular bands.
Okay, so that came out in 99,
Yeah.
the song.
Mm-hmm.
And Shrek came out in 2001. So yeah, a solid 2 years.
Yeah, that's
So-
So
I
All Star was old hat by that point.
I don't associate. I know that song was on the soundtrack, and I know it's in the movie. But when you say that song to me, my first thought is not Shrek; it's High School.
Oh, Mystery Men had that song too. That I forgot about. Anyway, but
The Rural Juror song.
That rural juror, that was I love that. Okay, so what was it? Something about I also want everybody to, I mean, in your spare time, go watch the Kim Possible movie So the Drama, which no, it was just an episode, wasn't it? Wasn't it? Or was it the movie that had Smash Mouth in it? Smash Mouth is in a Kim Possible either episode or the movie. I don't remember which one. Anyway, it's the one where she's moving really, really fast. She and Rufus are moving really, really fast, and she ends up just like stealing Smash Mouth and taking them to her school band. And they just show up and they're like, I don't know why we're here, how we got here, but let's party. And so then they just start playing a song. And then Kim Possible and Rufus, they're trying to stop at their school, but they keep missing it because they're going so fast. They're trying to stop and missing it. So then they just end up dancing on the Statue of Liberty.
I swear. We had already decided about the nasalized. Yeah, there it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to write another rule in Lexergy. I'm not following
Yeah, it's
hiring of.
We changed. I changed vowel lowering 1 to vowel centralization, so it might be called vowel lowering 1 in Lexergy.
No, it's not. It was lowering of nasal vowels because I just did.
Okay.
Because I had no idea we were, going to be doing this. I'm going to call this a back
Hiring.
vowel because then I can say low and back. Actually, just low. We don't have any low front vowels.
Yeah.
So I can say low
Mm-hmm.
goes to mid.
Like the vowel hiring that you called it.
Listen.
And so, what can you bring to our company?
Hired. But we are moving you to a mid position. Okay.
He just starts and he's moved to middle management. How about that? We call that Matesification.
Right. And to check. But I am not getting plus nasalized. Okay. Pre-nasalized consonant. Okay, we need only M-I-B.
Rude but also true. The definition of Matese. I'm sorry, I love you, Matese. I was just looking at a photo of you. You photograph very well. And there's a reason for that. It's because you actually look good. That's an easy way to kind of photograph well. You just already look good.
Shoot. That didn't work. Okay, that's fine. It's fine.
Didn't work?
It's fine.
Alright, well, we're going to get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. Because we've settled that now. Matese. Also, I am nice on occasion when I'm not busy.
Okay.
So Jesse's working on the Lexergy, but in the meantime, what happens if we just put Labubu in error? Oh, right, because they're pre-nasalized.
Oh my god, I fixed the wrong thing.
Error. No pattern can start with L. Oh, we don't have L in this language. We don't have L in this language. Ooh. Ooh. We don't have R in this language. Wait. No combination of a symbol and diacritics as the matrix. Heavy back vowel plus nasalized plus long must be mid.
Wait, what are you looking at?
Ooh. Just try to put in Labubu. Sorry, you go ahead. Yeah, I shouldn't mess with things until you're done.
I am trying to figure out. Okay, so when it gets its nasalization, stress vowels get high tone, right?
Yes, they do. Matese nice comments can be obtained on appointment to be scheduled at least 24 hours in advance. If somebody wanted to do like a supercut with LangTime Studio comments and severance, we know who that one would go with.
So why isn't that getting? Why is that just getting Why is that just getting low? I don't want it to have low tone.
Potential rise.
Okay. Okay.
Portuguese vowels. Oh, we haven't done Portuguese vowels yet. Potential numeric calculation. Have we not done that yet? No, we haven't.
I'm trying again.
Oh yeah, we absolutely could have done nasalization with agonics. That's why we didn't.
Oh, I see what is happening. What plain vowels do we have? What plain consonants do we have in this language? Do we have anything? Proto-plain. We have an H. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. Dang, we have a lot of stuff, huh?
There we go. Okay. Now I'm getting the right results. Now it's good. I was testing the forms and I wasn't getting falling tone, but it was because of something else going on. Now, David,
Mm-hmm.
the syllabic drop down of prenasalized D vowel, whatever, becoming then da, whatever. Was the drop down of that prenasalization supposed to be able to be stressed?
My feeling is no.
I think that's what we're getting. And so...
I mean, it usually doesn't matter, but I guess have we just created an instance where now it matters?
Well, it 100% matters because tone is stress dependent.
Ogonek. I will try to remember that.
So, for instance,
Okay.
if you just put in prenasalized D followed by IH or whatever,
Okay.
you're going to get D, but you're going to get D in low tone because it thinks that D is unstressed.
Oh.
It thinks took the stress.
Oh. Okay, so no, that's not supposed to happen. Dang. Sorry.
So stress assignment is now wrong.
Dang. That's my bad.
Okay. I'm gonna have to figure out because the stress assignment rules already were awful.
Let's see here.
Actually, let me add. Let me see if this works.
Incidentally, the battling is live in Lexergy if you go to the examples. So, if anybody wants to take a look and see if you can propose a fix, you can also do that. In the meantime, Jesse is working away on it, and I am thinking about vowel Portugueseification, and also intervocalic lenition. I'm just going to lay out in broad strokes what I was thinking. I was thinking that kind of like doing it the opposite way, because we have these three vowels, right? And generally when I think of vowel Portugueseification, what I think of is mid-vowels raising to high vowels at the end of a word inexplicably. And this is a very, very like biased interpretation, because like in my head, you know, growing up, Spanish, especially the Spanish that was spoken around me, is like the right way. And so then when you go to Portuguese and look at a lot of loan words, you're like, what is all these words ending in ooh? It's very strange. And so that's where it kind of gives me the idea of these mid-vowels raising to high vowels. Of course, we have the opposite problem. At least in our proto-language, we only have the three vowel qualities. We have I, U, and A. And so one thing I was thinking is that we could actually lower the high vowels at the end of a word to give us a little bit more variety. And this vowel nasalization will give us a nice opportunity to do so, because now those vowels have been introduced. They're a thing, they have cachet. And so somewhere after that rule, we can introduce this vowel lowering rule at the end of a word. If we want to have it be tone dependent, maybe. I think if you subscribe to suprasegmental phonological theory, it should not be tone dependent. In other words, it's like you wouldn't have vowel lowering, say, if it was only a low vowel at the end, low tone at the end of the word. It shouldn't pay attention to tone at all. But, you know, we can take a look at it and see. So that was one thing I wanted to do. I also wanted to introduce the possibility of intervocalic lenition, which I think could be fun. And if we can do some sort of initial vowel deletion or final vowel deletion, then we can expand, at least technically, the number of phonemes that we have, because we have a very small number of consonantal phonemes. This might give us an opportunity to expand, maybe. Anytime you're talking about deleting vowels in a register tone language, a level tone language, that tone needs to go somewhere. And so one possibility is that the tone scoots over to the left or right, depending if we're talking about deleting a vowel at the end or the beginning of a word, and you produce a contour. And in fact, it might be the case that two things. One, whether or not that can happen could lead to whether or not the vowel could be deleted, another possible phonology tone interaction, or if it can move over, it does. If it can't, it stays on as a floating tone, resulting in upstep or downstep on the next word. Or when it's deleted, it's just an upstep, downstep phenomenon. And this would be or fourth option, we introduce some sort of suffixing into the language so that this happens regularly, so that when a suffix is added, that tone can re-emerge somewhere. Anyway, so those were just some thoughts that I had moving forward to finish out our sound changes, because we're very close, perilously close. Anyway, I've just been speaking to give Jessie some space.
Thank you.
To allow her to try to tackle this stress issue in Lexergy with as little stress as possible. Anyway, but I know that this is something that those of you watching find less exciting because I'm not as attractive, my voice isn't as beautiful, and what I say isn't as magical. And I think that we all understand that this is true.
I do not.
Yeah. That's about the size of it. Jake says, "This is fine, David." I think that's about right. I just wanted to mention this. There's a very lovely review of Robert Ratcliffe's Chronicles of the Residuum album, The Age of Destruction, that came out today. That mentioned us, and they also misspelled Jesse's name, just like I did. On Twitch, you can tell the streamer to drink water. Well, thank you, Matisse. I did look at like both StreamYard, and there was also a streaming software that George recommended. I've looked at it. I haven't played with it enough to feel comfortable saying, you know what, maybe we can switch to this, maybe we can try this out. There are so many different things that we want to do. Jonathan, I bet what I'm guessing what Madame Niece is saying is that there is some like built-in functionality. Point redeem. I don't know what point redeem means. Yeah, so it's somehow built in.
Oh my god. Okay. I am not going to be angry about this. I am.
If they're turkey ghosts, you have to speak Poltregeese.
This is fine that it fails. It is fine that I have failed. It is fine.
Oh, honey, it'll be all right. I believe in you.
You shouldn't.
Too bad. I always do.
If it's syllabic, we have to have a consonant there. Okay. Oh my god, I'm having like a panic attack over this. I hate everything right now, and I don't want to be streaming because I just need to stare. And nothing is working.
Dream Theater mentioned. That wasn't right. But you can actually play Panic Attack on Rock Band. It was one of the downloadable songs. Incredible. Of course, the thing that I do on Rock Band is I do singing. Not as difficult for the singer, but for the guitarist and the drummer. Jake says, the song wasn't in Shrek. I haven't heard of it. There is something I want to ask about. I don't know if others use OBS, but what I do to put the chat on the screen is I pop out the window in Safari and I just have it show that window. There is apparently built-in stream functionality in OBS if you've logged into your YouTube account, which we have. And that is new as far as I know. Does anybody have any experience with that? Is it worth trying to do?
Okay. I think I have it now. Okay. Oh, this
Yeah.
is so messy and sloppy, and I had to write another rule, and oh my gosh.
Where's Rooftop Octopus when I mentioned Dream Theater?
Oh my gosh. Oh, and it is not Lexergy being dumb. It's me not knowing how to work things. Oh.
Looks good. I just put it in D, and it's got the high tone like it's supposed to. That's pretty cool.
But now it does have unit tests, Madam Knees. You just need to trace the evolution, and you see exactly where things are breaking. So, like, if you trace the evolution of any given form, it gives you each stage by stage, and you see where it's breaking, so you know what's going wrong. So I knew what was going wrong. I just couldn't figure out how to write the code so it would stop doing that. So, anyway. It's fine. We got it. Okay. You said a lot of stuff. I've been absolutely gone for a solid 20 minutes.
So, Madeline, part of the problem, and I mean, bless Graham for putting Lexergy together. I'm just going to say this, is that there is a lot of symbology that's built in as you study linguistics when it comes to writing sound change rules. It's developed over the decades, and it's pretty standard at this point. And especially if you've come through academic linguistics, the way Jesse and I have, you've learned a lot of things about how to write rules. And Lexergy doesn't use those. It just doesn't use that symbology. It uses something totally different.
It's not totally. I think there's like
Totally
one thing
different.
that's different.
One thing,
The word boundary.
and the arrow, and like the use of things like ampersand and
Ampersand just holds
the
things
use of
together that
spaces,
makes
the
sense.
use of the period. Anyway, it's
The period is what we use in regular things to separate syllables. Like, that's what you use in IPA to separate syllables. That's
Yeah,
what
but
periods are used for
that's-
in Lexergy.
that is not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. As the person writing these rules, yes, it absolutely is. You're telling it there's a syllable break.
No way.
That's what all the periods in my rules are. That
Uh,
says this is a syllable.
Look at that.
And holds things together. That makes sense. The arrow makes sense because the arrow from IPA is not a standard keyboard thing, so you would have to have something different installed to get the arrow.
Well, but
And
the
so-
standard convention for replacing that actual arrow is just the greater than sign by itself. Also, the asterisk is as meaning nothing.
Oh, that's easier to type than the null symbol, which is also not part of a standard keyboard.
It's standard to use the capital version of O/.
Anyway, but then what if you need the capital version of O/? It's just
don't.
like there's like these tiny little subsies that, like, if you just don't focus on those two things that are different, you get over it and you use it. And then the question becomes, have you coded all the features correctly? Because unlike writing phonological rules where there's a set system, and so when you reference something in the grand database of knowledge, it just exists. In Lexergy, if you don't pre-code those features in, they don't exist. So you've got to make sure you've listed all the things you need. And there's no way to do it so everybody in the way they use the system can do it. You just have to go in and like make it your own.
I will say something I've thought of, but I didn't suggest this for our languages, is that somebody could just write up definition of all the IPA and you just copy and paste it at the beginning. But sometimes for your own language,
you need to shift what you call them.
Yeah.
And so I actually had done that for my own languages, David. And I literally have only been able to use that like twice. Because every other time it's like, I need to call this a dental so that way it matches up, because when these changes happen, I want them all to go here. And if I don't call these dental, then that's not going to work. And so it's like
this needs to count as labial for this language.
And
but
I
not this
found
language.
that for my brain, it's a lot easier to create everything from scratch than it
Because
is to
then
copy paste and try to fix the individual pieces.
Because then you have an intuitive feeling for
Yeah.
it. Anyway, I wanted to voice that though, because in case it was useful for somebody else, like this could be a resource that somebody provides. Say, here, look, I wrote up the IPA. You could just paste this into the beginning of your Lexergy rules and go from there. Somebody might find that useful. And like we could host it on our new LTS like Google folder that's for sharing. Anyway, so yeah, I thought that might be useful for some, but I am in total agreement with you that that's why I didn't like super try to suggest it for us.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, and Mateus is saying some people have done that.
Yeah. Anyway, if somebody remembers that and wants to post it somewhere, we can put it up in that drive with credit, and then people could link to that. Didn't Jesse already do that on the Lexergy subreddit ages ago?
Goodness, I may have. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember all the things I've randomly done for.
Yeah.
And I now mainly use Reddit for yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, that's all my Reddit feed gives me, because it's like, this is what you interact with. And so, by the by, if you're into yarn or sheep, you should be watching Game of Wool. That show needs to get lots of love. It's easier to watch if you're actually in Britain, because apparently it just airs on Channel 4 and you can watch it like a regular show. We are currently hoping YouTube doesn't notice that somebody has posted full episodes online. I just put it out there, though. That was stupid. YouTube is listening to me, I bet.
Yeah, probably. We're even on YouTube right now.
I know. That makes it even worse.
Mm.
I'm going to have to find a new way to...
Full episodes of Burn Notice on YouTube.
That's right. Catch those Burn Notice episodes. But it is an amazing, incredible display of what you can do with yarn in just 12 hours. I would need a lot more time.
That's something. It's styled, like, in terms of how the show flows, very similar to Great British Bake Off. But like in Great British Bake Off, it's like you have 4.5 hours, and it's like, wow, that's a long time, right? This one, it's like you've got 12 hours. I remember one that's like, well, we didn't give you much time. You only have 10 hours. It's like, and it looks like they do it all in one day, which,
yeah, I really don't feel that they do, just because that would be hell on the
know,
hands. But
like, but like, and also like, I can't think of a 12-hour stretch that would be good for a group of people. Like none.
So apparently
and they have to eat.
Madame Niece is letting me know every knitter hates it. I'm a knitter. I don't hate it. I'm sorry that Shetland is complaining about how their craft is being represented. I think it's delightful. I think it's teaching a lot of people skills and words that you wouldn't otherwise know. And so, yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Jonathan. Like, I
didn't think about bathroom breaks or like eating.
Well, yeah, and they definitely would
to
have
eat.
to take breaks.
They have to
and
eat.
Just in terms of your hands, I don't think it would be medically wise for you to sit and knit for 12 hours in a one-day span. So, like, I feel like it's probably a couple days, and then they just splice it all together and make everyone wear the same outfits.
Yeah, and they'd be so dead at the end of it.
Yeah.
Like, you'd be able to tell that on screen.
Well.
Oh man, I could do 12 hours of LTS.
I'll let David do that. I'll be in the background working on, like, right now I kind of want to pick up my yarn and
Yeah.
get some more stitches done. I'm starting a new project, David. It's going to be another sweater for me.
Ooh, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna throw something else out here with our sound changes.
No more sound changes. We're done.
No.
Because I got that one working, and so we are just done. This language sounds perfect.
Here, wait. I'm just going to.
This isn't my husband ignoring me and making more sound changes.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. We've got a lot of long vowels. I'm just gonna say that we've got a lot of long vowels. That's all.
Oh, we still have to decide too with what happens when a T is followed by an H, etc.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, here, wait. Can we actually do? I want to see something. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. Okay.
They're still looking at your Lexergy if that was not what you intended.
Well, they saw a good thing that I was trying to show them. So we've got a lot of long vowels. We do have some sequences that we don't necessarily want. And we have an opportunity, I think. When you see a bunch of sequences you don't want, and you think to yourself, I might like some lenition, you've got an opportunity.
I always feel like I'm about to get a lecture in something very interesting. Like, not lecture as in you're in trouble, but lecture as in like school lecture. When you look over your glasses at me. You do that a lot, like when you're ready to say something. You go down and over and you look at me and I'm like, I'm about to learn something. Okay, go on. It's very thrilling.
Oh, all right.
I like learning. This should not be new to you.
So we have built in that we're going to be getting geminates. We also have these consonant H clusters. Mm-hmm. And so if we do lenition, and then we get rid of those clusters, we're going to have intervocalic distinctions.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. And let me just see something else. Have we completely killed the thing yet?
Well, we've killed the click version. We have not killed the together version, I don't think. Like, I think it just occurs plain together still. Yeah, it does. Because, like, me nach. But it no longer has the ejective version. Like, that has been killed.
Yeah, so it's kha at the beginning of a word, intervocalically, and at the end of a word. That's a bit much, I think. So, yeah, we're going to want to kill that, too. All right. So the first thing that we do, or that we might think about doing, is intervocalic lenition. So I am actually going to go over to Lexergy again. Put out some words here. Mata. Let's do this in order. Mapa. Mata. Wait, do we have a?
No.
No, we don't. Okay, well let's do. If I just type B, it does the prenasalized thing, right?
Yeah. So B and all of the adjectives, you don't need to type the apostrophe. It adds those for you. So if you just type a plain T, it'll ejectify it.
Oh, my. Let me just take a quick little peek ski at our. Wow, we haven't updated this. This phonetic chart in a while. Like, there are no clicks on here or anything.
We're not done figuring out what we've created.
Okay, let me make sure those. Okay, so I've typed all of the stops in between vowels. And this is what we end up with so far. Moba. This is all AA. All of these are AA. So we have moba, mata, mata, moda, maka, moga, matza, moza, makha. That's what we've got right now. And I'm going to type in 2 more things.
As David is typing those, like, so sorry to hear that, Miles. I'm glad you're back and hope you're feeling much better. And yeah, Miles, like, I am absolutely fine on car trips for like hours. I can go hills, curves, all that is fine. But put me in stop and go traffic, and I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel so great. I do not like starting and stopping.
I threw in 2 more, so we have ma'a and maha. Okay. So, my first idea is to have the affricates get a little bit less affricate-y in between vowels.
Okay.
So matza, moza, makha become masa, moza, macha.
Okay, so it's keeping the fricative of the affricate, and it's dropping. Did I hear that correct?
You did, but now I want to change that.
Okay.
Now I want to change that, and there's a very specific reason, and it's because of what's coming. I think this could be good. All right. We're going to change them to geminate fricatives. So matza becomes masa, moza becomes moza, and macha becomes makha becomes macha. Geminates.
Okay.
All right. That's step 1. Step 1. Now that we've got that, step 2. It's got to be the voiced stops fricate.
That's step 2?
Yes.
Okay.
So that would be mova. And let's do them like by the book right now where they would be. I believe, yes, D is dental. So we have va, va, and ra. Bilabial fricative, dental fricative, and velar fricative.
However, the z and the ts were also dental, and so it's really just S and Z. It doesn't matter if you call them alveolar or dental, but they are going to be produced in the same place.
Not necessarily. I understand that, I mean, they're affricates, right? And so, like, basically, it's like, it's starting with, but then it's the actual frication part is happening behind.
Okay. Well, this is just a nightmare for me, but you go on. I already had to call them alveolar to make the sound changes work because we have other sounds. So anyway, I may have to change a lot of things.
No. I think it works to call S and Z alveolar.
I also have T, D, and the affricates as alveolar, so that way they're all together, because when you write changes, all the sounds have to exist. And so because those were going to clicks that were alveolar, it was easier to just say to a click. And so
I thought the click was dental.
anyway, it's fine. I have a lot of things I have to change.
Okay, but the click is dental, right?
I call them all alveolar because that was easier to code. So everything is called alveolar.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's bear that in mind for if we want to keep this dental fricative. But at this point, we're going to say that it's dental.
But like, what I don't understand is if the DZ as an affricate was dental to alveolar, like,
Yeah.
they're already trending towards like having the Z sound. Like, why wouldn't they just use it for like the very nearby the z? I don't know.
As a way
It
to-
just seems like having the there doesn't make as much sense.
Anda, ada, makes sense to me.
Okay.
It's useful to have them distinguished at this stage, even if it's just as a stand-in. I want to hang on to Miles's idea because it's very interesting to me. Nada, 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 nada.
Okay. What else was going to be happening?
So, just write something down here. Bantu change I'm familiar with changes L to D for high vowels, not the other way around. Anyway, so right now those are different for whatever reason. And so now the voiceless stops can become voiced. And that is just T goes to D and K goes to G. Very simple. I haven't done anything with glottal stop or H. What are your feelings on those?
I don't know. I'm
What's up?
I'm just trying to go through features.
Well, this is just a proposal at this stage. This is just a little idea ski.
I know, but like I need to mentally prepare what I would need to change if it goes through. But I don't know about H and glottal stop.
Do they just stay?
I mean, they can. I would say we disappear them after a consonant.
Wow. Proto-muhu becomes mu. Proto-mihi becomes mihi. Proto-muhu becomes mu because U disappears after M. And so it becomes muhu. And that's it. Why does it have a low tone? Because it loses the aspiration.
And we had aspirated nasals?
Yes, briefly.
Okay.
So that's why. We were going to have voiceless nasals, and then we went a different direction, and we're like, well, since we have aspiration doing this thing, why don't we just say that they're aspirated, and it could lead to some interesting tonal things, and clearly it did. Me. Ma.
But to get the what I thought you were going for with some intervocalic changes would be like if the H disappears after a consonant, although I think it may already do that.
I have an idea. If we say that the H becomes some sort of a voiced thing, where it's like we just say H voices in between A, but we don't actually write it, we're just like, maha becomes maha, 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 like that type of a thing. We could have the same type of thing happening before high vowels and have it become ya and wu, and then later have our favorite rule and have them become ja and vu.
I feel I need you to say that again.
Mihi becomes miyi, becomes miji. Mahu becomes mau, becomes mavu. Or we just leave it H and say this is an HE language.
What is the crowd feeling?
I don't know.
We have not started romanization yet, George.
Well, what are you feeling, honey? Seems like you're not in favor of this.
I feel like we do that a lot.
All right. Yeah, let's leave it alone. It's the only proto-fricative, right? So that makes it powerful. So let's just leave it powerful. Okay.
But I still think, I thought where we were going was doing all this so that we could have intervocalic things where we would end up like mata becomes mata, but matha becomes mata.
Yeah. We're not there yet.
Oh, okay. I thought we were.
No, that's what's coming after this stage. But before we got to that stage, we needed to address what happens to glottal stop in H, if anything.
I say nothing.
Okay, good. All right, so then the next stage is we can pretty much have anything next to anything. Is that right, in terms of consonants?
I feel like that's not entirely true at this point because of sound changes, but I think in the proto stage, I don't think we had ruled out any syllable shapes.
Like, for example, I'm putting in like anything before ta and everything is allowed.
Yeah, I don't. We all we said about syllable shape is that CVC is the, proto,
Yeah.
and so that means that like we didn't say like a click, or sorry, not a click, but an ejective couldn't be a coda or whatever. So like as far as I know, very technically speaking, any two consonants can end up being side by side in multiple syllables.
Yeah. And that includes something like nza coming before ta. And it just kind of surfaces that way in the end. So manz ta as a proto form in the modern comes out as mods ta. Mods ta. Which is probably not something we want.
I would think not.
Yeah. So we might have to do something to address this a bit earlier on. Matznza. If you have matznza as a proto, it comes out as modern matznza.
I don't hear what's happening, so I don't know what you're really focusing on here.
Proto matznza
Okay.
comes out in the modern as matznza.
Okay.
Is that fine? We like that?
If I'm hearing what I think I'm hearing, then I don't understand why it's a problem. I can't see the type on the screen. It's too small, unfortunately.
I'm just going to write it right here. We're going to go down to our sound changes right below nasal metasification, and that is coming out as that.
My biggest issue is stress assignment. Were we gonna have stress radiating? Very stressed. Every other syllable. Okay, so that's fine. With stress, then, which I swear I didn't write it so it was radiating, did it? Just
It applies iteratively.
it what?
It applies iteratively.
But all of my stress rules have it. Except that one. It wouldn't do it unless you had a syllabic. So type in anything else and adding, and I don't think it would do that.
Makta.
Okay, so is secondary stress meant to do the same high tone? Because I need to write in secondary stress if so.
I don't think we intended that, did we? Or did we?
Well, I don't know. Like in the little description, we say secondary stress, at least at the earliest stage, is crucial for determining vowel deletion, is assigned to every other syllable radiating outward from the primarily stressed syllable.
Right.
But I didn't write that into the Lexergy rules.
Then how is it happening in the Lexergy rules?
Because of the prenasalization that drops down, because I added a rule to fix that.
Okay.
However, as I said, put any other 3 syllables in with no prenasalized consonants, and you're not going to get 2 stresses, or at least you shouldn't, based on what I put in there. If we do, then I am absolutely not understanding what Lexergy is doing, i.e., what I have done to Lexergy.
You are correct. Man, if we had it, if we had secondary stress, or if we had this vowel loss sensitive to secondary stress, then it feels like maybe the tone should be sensitive to it as well.
So the difficult thing is, in this language, we haven't yet decided if we're going to have what word shapes we're going to have. So I can spend a great deal of time trying to figure out how to make all this work. But if we never have more than 2 syllables in a form where vowel deletion would happen, then I don't need to.
I certainly didn't intend, I don't think we intended to have more than 2 syllables. It's just that we end up with them in a case where nasal is dropped down as a syllabic nasal.
Which is fine because of the way that the rule is.
In fact, I think we could end up with 4 syllables. Is that right? At some point. Not there.
Well, Miles, it isn't the root shapes that we're worried about, or that I'm worried about, rather. It is what happens to the roots in the grammatical stages. Because if this is a language where more pieces glom onto the root, which you've created at an early stage and is affected by all these sound changes, you need to know what your biggest forms are going to be, and we don't have any grammar. Because root shapes, we've already decided CVC syllables, and David and I are big 2-syllable max root shapes, and so that's not an issue. The issue is adding more beyond that.
Okay, so you can end up with 4 syllables if you start with a prenasalized stop and then you have 2 prenasalized stops in the middle. But you still only have 1 stress being added.
That's because you didn't use an ah vowel, I'm guessing?
No, I did.
Where?
Both of them. So this is just a protoform da.
Okay. But that means the second one is stressed.
Yes.
You put a coda on the second one?
No, on the first one. Coda on the first one, not on the second one.
Okay. Wasn't our stress assignment...
So the first stress that's added is on the first syllable because it's got a coda.
Mm-hmm.
Then when the stress shifts, it shifts to the end. It's a 4-syllable form. Da. And so the stress shifts to the end.
And if the stress has shifted to the end at that point, then no more stress is being added.
We can introduce some sound changes where we just wouldn't have to worry about this. Simplify some of these clusters early on.
Which, I mean, that may be what we end up wanting to do, but that's not my bigger issue. My bigger issue is just trying to nail down where we want to go, because part of this is you just don't want to waste time. Like, I don't want to waste time putting things into Lexergy
Sure.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
find out that, like, oh, that was totally unnecessary because now we're just getting rid of all of them.
Okay.
Or now we're, like, those stress syllables never come into play until words get longer. And sometimes what's easier is doing a glommination rule where it's like, you just leave a space between the entries, and then stress gets applied to each unit, and then they go together, and so then you don't have to worry about it.
All right. Well, let's ask ourselves right now, and you know what? I might throw this out as a poll as well. Do we want to ban affricates from coda position?
Because all affricates.
So we would never
Are
have a word
adjective.
like mat, mak, or mans. Mans. Sorry. Because we do have that voiced one. That's not adjective.
Right, but then, like, I guess I don't see the issue with that. Whereas I feel like the adjectives, like if we say there's no coda adjectives, then that would be fine.
We've already like handled coda adjectives.
But don't we need the TS coda adjective to get some of the clicks?
No.
I feel like we did a lot of things very specifically to get things we were looking for, and I feel like
No, they had to be onsets, and then there have to be coda nasals.
Okay.
That's what gets us the clicks.
um I guess I'm sorry, I'm trying to think through, like, why would I allow why would I disallow a coda affricate while still allowing, like an adjective T and K to be a coda?
Because they're bigger.
I don't know. I'd have to see a lot more forms. And I'm afraid to do anything in Lexergy because then it kills what you've already typed in.
Sure could. But like, just a word like matza.
But that to me seems more like we just don't create roots that allow those back to back. Like, I guess that's where I would think, like, at some point there's also just the aesthetic preferences of the speaker.
Yeah.
And it's like certain units just don't occur, and what reason do you have for it except, very technically speaking, these codas are allowed, but they never appear when there's something after it. So like mat on its own versus
Right. So like we have mat, and then mat could be seen as essentially just too complex.
okay, but like I wouldn't want matda either.
Yeah, that's going to be easier to handle.
No, like as a protoform, I wouldn't want that.
Okay.
I wouldn't want an adjective coda followed by a prenasalized stop. Like, that's awful. And like I feel like in that case it's not that it's a coda, it's that it's a coda followed by another complex onset. But
Well,
also, like, why
okay.
would you have mat with a glottal stop after it? Like, there's certain things where it's like it could be a end of word coda, but it's not an internal coda.
Separately, there could be a general prohibition on codas preceding prenasalized stops.
I don't feel that I have a good sense of what happens to these roots right now to be able to say, like, we should ban these but not those. So we can
Well,
for now and see where it gets us and just move on. Because, like, right now I'm at the stage where, like, I can't offer anything.
well, just forget all the sound changes and think about the earliest stage of the language. And if, I don't know, it speaks to you baddishly, like, amda, amda would be a potential word. So that's, adjective tam and then nda, amda, amda. Like, you can say it, amda. There's no issue with that. Something like atnda, atnda, atnda. Like, you can say it. It's a little iffier. At ah, at ah. Yeah, you could say that. At ah.
Well, but I feel like basically what we were going for is that these bats are, excuse the term, but they're a little batshit crazy in the beginning. This is a crazy proto inventory.
Okay.
And so, yeah, like anything goes, but we're smoothing it out.
Okay.
And so, like, yeah, you could theoretically say that. I personally, would I ever create that? No, I guess it may happen in this language, but probably is going to be by the hands of somebody else or a compound
Okay.
where things get pushed together. But then, like, that adjective followed by a prenasal not only is going to get separated anyway, because that would become tatnda, and that's what our syllabic nasals are for. We now have 3 syllables instead of 2,
Mm-hmm.
and we're losing the adjectives. So, like, I don't know. It just seems like that. I mean, that's fine, but, like, I just don't, like, my head. I have as many problems with having adjectives, period, in those positions as I would have having the affricates. And so, like, to me, it's like, well, if we're allowing the other ones, like, my brain doesn't understand why I should have a problem with the affricates there.
Okay. Well, one might, simply because they're bigger segments. That's all. That's all. And some languages can treat them as special, larger. Others not. So that was it. And it would be an easy thing to make things a little simpler. But if we just want to say no, there's no prohibitions at the proto stage, then we can start there.
Well, in general, I think it's good because at some point we're going to get segments we don't want side by side. Because I'm assuming we're going to have compounds at the very least. And when you have compounds, you suddenly get things that you're like, I really didn't intend for these to come together. And so saying, what do they do? Like, I don't think we should keep any of those segments. But I don't know. I feel like this should be a decision you just make, so that way I can figure out, I can make my little notes.
It can be a decision you just make too.
Well, then go with it. Like, say that
Go with
that's
what?
it. What I just made, apparently. Like, I'm just saying we could. I don't know. I'm just in charge of trying to figure out how to put them into Lexergy.
Oh.
Like, how are people feeling? Okay, so Tinglish, yeah, they are rancid.
We already have the stops losing their adjective quality. That's already happening. So, like, for example, if we have just where am I in Lexergy? No. So yeah, like, oh, we just kill ejectives generally. We don't have ejectives anymore.
Right, that's what I was saying. Like they're all
So they're
gone.
all dead. They're all dead. So don't worry about that. Ejectives are gone.
Ejectives are gone, as are the prenasalized stops. So like we kill everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of my, like, I don't understand why we would necessarily then.
It was, so the question was, did you like matzungza?
I mean, I don't like clicks. And that's what this language is. So I feel like going with the spirit of what this language is, like.
Well, no, hang on. There's
why not?
hang on. There were two reasons I was saying this. One is it's, a little absurd, both in the proto form and what it ends up being. Mm-hmm. So that's one. And two is that then it would have to force you to go back and figure out the secondary stress thing. I was trying to help prevent that.
No, that's a bigger issue for if we're putting more affixes on. Right now I'm leaving it be and we're not touching it.
Okay.
For me, like right now, that is a note I have made that I will need to see what forms are needing adjustment. But like right now, that is not my big issue. My bigger issue is trying to see what's going to happen if, like, I need to see what ends up happening with some of these changes so then I can code other things. There are a lot of things here, and part of me is just like, can we stop doing sounds and start talking about grammar so that way we can start seeing what the shape is going to be so then we know what bigger shapes we're potentially dealing with. And that's where I am. I'm done with sounds.
I wanted to be done today, but we've kind of hit a very small snag that I thought we could jump over.
Okay, so then making decisions, what I would say is anything goes. And we'll smooth it out as we go if we don't like what we end up getting. We do the 3 rules that you have suggested, plus add in another where we take out a glottal consonant when it follows a coda consonant. We can simplify in some things, like when you have an adjective followed by a prenasalized coda, we can say one or the other or both get simplified. I mean, we can definitely do that. Say like in the proto it was allowed, but it gets simplified early to the point where like you don't get matzungza, but maybe how do you feel about matzungza? Like, would that be allowed?
I think so, but
no, like to you, like should like taking the s away, like so should we have an early rule that says coda affricates reduced to the plain, or not the plain stop, but to an ejective stop, which eventually gets turned into a plain stop. That happens when they come before prenasalized onsets. And so like we have other rules we can introduce to simplify that.
Shit. Where did I suggest it would happen that the affricates simplify?
Number 1.
That was the first thing that happened. Okay. This should happen after tonogenesis, shouldn't it? Wait. Do coda consonants affect tone? I don't think they do. It's only there's nasalized vowels open, closed, or... Okay. Huh. Oh. Oh,
What are you seeing?
Loss of coda glottalization. Right there. Okay.
But I feel like I'm missing something.
Wait, not that. That. Oh my god. It's gotta be before that. Unless we want it. Oh my god. Okay. So you know how we suggested this intervocalic lenition?
Yeah. Which is what we're working on. That was like the 3-step thing, right?
Do syllabic nasals count?
The way they're currently defined, they potentially could.
If like we just ran it through Lexergy, would it end up counting, or would you have to write it in, and would it be difficult to do one way or the other?
I would need to write things into Lexergy, which would kill everything on your screen, because as soon as I start making changes, it takes everything
I
away.
understand. To do what? To make it so that they don't do that, or they do?
I need to see if it would. I don't know is my answer right now. And so I need to see, like, I just need to, like, put in one of the changes that is here, just one, as a test form, and then actually enter a test form and see if it treats the syllabic.
Okay.
And if it does, I then need to, like, specify vowel, not syllabic. You know, like, I would just need to figure out how to write the rule. But off the top of my head, I am not entirely sure.
And sorry, Jake. There's no way to get it all on screen. I want to just ask a poll question here. What do you like better as an end result? From some proto stage where it was nuts. And that's not like it's an intermediate stage. And this N is syllabic, okay?
Okay.
I gotta say, I kind of like that too. Okay. Let's treat the syllabic nasals like vowels.
And then would, in doing that, the form you suggested then is not treating it exactly like a vowel, or writing a second rule where geminate fricatives reduce in front of a syllabic nasal?
Oh, having the geminate. Right. Right, because
They actually do, it does nothing to the overall system. If you don't want the geminate and we're doing that as a stopgap to make sure nothing else changed, there's no overlap. Like there's otherwise no S, Z, or X in this language.
right, right.
And so they can go straight to singletons if that was your goal.
I mean, it is the goal eventually, yeah. But you're right. Of course, they were supposed to go to geminates first, and it doesn't matter for that particular one. But yeah, they were supposed to go to geminates first. The end goal was that geminates would simplify, and so that
Across the board?
across the board.
Well, out of curiosity, why have two steps then when the one will take care of it?
Just to show that they're independently motivated, I think.
Okay.
The one step would work for the affricates. The only reason to do it is if we wanted to build in a vowel shortening rule. And so, for example, if you had, let's say, protoform mat'a, that right now it's coming out as mat'a, long, long. If it became a geminate first, it would be masa, and that would break it across two syllables, potentially. Mm-hmm. If we then had a vowel shortening rule that said vowels shortened before geminates, it would become masa, and then if we shortened the geminates, it would become masa, and we get more short vowels.
Mm.
That would be the only reason to do it.
Okay. So that makes sense, yeah.
Okay. So, all right, well, it's not going to work. I was going to try to insert a rule where affricates would simplify to fricatives in coda position across the board. That won't fix the affricate followed by a prenasalized thingy rule because
it'll be a coda at that point.
I mean, an onset. It'll be an onset at that point. And so in that case, it doesn't matter where the rule is. Okay, so this is what I think that we might do. It starts with codas. We have the loss of coda glottalization. And then we have this, the vowel centralization. Essentially, things are happening with codas. All right, so then kind of like around there, coda affricates go to...
Do you want to switch it to document view?
Yes, I do. Coda affricates go to fricatives. That's just a thing that happens. And then intervocalic affricates go to geminates. Then voice stops go to voiced fricatives. This is all of this is intervocalic. Sorry. Voiceless stops go to voiced stops. Um, shoot. Fast language, speedy language. Okay. And so next, long vowels go to short. Before geminates. Geminates go to singletons, and somewhere after this, glottal consonants disappear after other consonants.
We're apparently getting suggested to people right now by the algorithm. And so welcome to everyone who is jumping in to see what we are about. We are creating languages for a lot of different animals in this stream, but we absolutely are in the midst of doing some kind of technical work on sound changes.
It's like the most technical, boring, frustrating stuff you'll ever see. It's great.
So we create languages. This is what we're doing. We're creating languages.
Yeah, we worked on TV shows, Game of Thrones, Dune, whatever.
Oh, thank you, Sinowin.
You've worked on something. We've worked on something you've seen. Glottal consonants disappear after.
That heart's for you, Sinowin.
After. Is there anything that we want to keep them after? No. Glottal consonants disappear after consonants.
Consonants, yeah. Because then that's going to give us those old consonants intervocalically where they otherwise would have changed.
Yeah. And then fix-it voiced fricative rule. We're going to this. I promise you, it's not going to affect any of the other sound changes, but this is going to be the poll.
What the fix-it rule is, or if there is a fix-it rule?
Basically.
Okay.
And it's like our friends va, za, the, ra, wa, and la. They're all going to be in there. All right?
How did we have an L?
It's an approximate. It's a dental approximate. La.
When are we getting these approximates? We don't have them, do we?
That's a part of...
That's a part of what you're suggesting.
It's a part of what I'm suggesting.
I was
That's
like,
a part
babe,
of
you're going off script.
Nah, don't worry.
I don't even know what you're doing now.
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
It's just like Sledgehammer. Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
What is that?
It's a reference that nobody gets, not even you. Television show from the 80s. Parody.
I feel like you can take away the not even. Like, in general, I don't get references. Like, I feel like you need to say not even Mateus or not even Jonathan. I don't know. Someone who is much more hip to getting references would make that a stronger statement.
Okay, so basically we're going to figure out what's going to happen to voice stops intervocalically. All right, and there are a number of things we can do. Yes. All right. And then this will be it.
Okay.
Oh, and also at some point then we'll need to figure out what happens to the Portugueseification of vowels. Forgot about that. That'll be a late thing. Something we can throw on the end.
But we are figuring out that first thing.
Yeah.
And we're figuring out the intervocalic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We got this.
But yeah, to just to give our new viewer an example of what potentially this could be. We have this, let's say that we have this word starting out as mata, what could happen to this is at the very end of all of these sound changes that we have discussed, this word, which is just mata, would end up sounding like mada. Yeah, mada, like that.
Where
Right?
is this?
So,
Oh, there it is. I see it now.
So mata would become mada. Whereas on the other hand, we could have a word that sounds like this, which would be manda, manda, manda. That is going to come out as mo. It could come out as this, moza. It could. Could also come out as moza. Oops. Or maybe even mola. All sorts of options. So how do we get Oza Yamoza?
Okay.
Okay, Jesse, you ready for a small celebration? The 351 mark.
For surviving.
There you go, honey. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. Don't worry. We're trying to do something to shorten up those vowels in places where it's possible.
While keeping enough long vowels that it might be a characteristic feature of the language.
Yeah. All right. So especially for those new to the program, Copico is our official unofficial sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Copico is a coffee candy. It's delicious. It's from Indonesia, and we always eat one during the stream, usually at 3 p.m. But
Around.
it's been a little late. And then, of course, I say...
That's because I had an on-air meltdown. You can't celebrate until the meltdown is over and forgotten.
And it was my fault. So... and so the official, of course, Copico slogan is Copico. It cures what ails ya. Oh. Terrible. Terrible. Sorry. Absolutely terrible.
It refreezes all those melts you had. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So probably has Jonathan. So we got to we can find out more ways to reduce long vowels, but if we reframe the whole long vowel thing, is long vowels are normal and short vowels are like a little bit less long. But this means that, for example, this will end up coming out as tama. This one will end up coming out as tama, right? I think. It's kind of cool.
Oh, Bib posted a picture of Ring of Dead Penguins. We absolutely did create that. Jake said to check. There's what... Oh, sweet. Look at that. Does it continue on the back, Miles? Jake got Miles a shirt.
Jake got Miles a shirt. Let me see.
Oh my gosh.
Is this in LTS or Let's Have a Booba?
Or in LTS, and we could absolutely... I should get this shirt. I can get you on a shirt.
What the... What's that?
Wiki Wikipedia is apparently now doing wiki shirts.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, I could absolutely get a shirt of David. That's amazing.
Algic languages.
That is just excellently done.
I want to change my photo. I don't like that photo. I want a new photo. Maybe I was hoping I could get a nice one from CopyCon, but I don't know.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay, so apparently not. So the wiki shirts are not by Wikipedia, Jake says.
They should.
However, each shirt has some of the profit donated to them, which is good.
Are they aware of it? Like, is it a licensing thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. But...
That is fantastic.
Hmm.
And yeah. I also want to clarify, I do apologize. Magpie, you're absolutely right. Not liking one feature doesn't mean I don't need to like every feature. My meltdown was in part driven by the fact that I feel I have lost the aesthetic feel of the language. Therefore, I'm not feeling attached to understand if something is a good thing or not a good thing for the overall system. Like sometimes you lose sight of what is the system. And I have hit that point where I have lost that vision. And because of that, I'm struggling to make connections with what I feel should or should not be a part of the language. And so that's what was driven there. And yeah, you're absolutely right. And I was frustrated in the moment and said things in bad ways. And I do apologize.
I always feel like it's my fault.
Sometimes I have not the ability to offer an opinion when you really want one.
No, I just don't want to lose you.
Well, you're never going to lose me.
I better not.
I am shackled to you real good.
Yeah, so Aisha, we haven't even come close to getting to the we haven't even come close to the part where we actually create grammar or anything yet. This is we're nearing the end. I thought we'd be at the end today, but we'll get to the end next stream.
Maybe.
They show up. The thing is, like, we're using targeted forms here to like get at our sound changes. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Like Miles finished the frog story.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah. So anyway,
it's all good. It's nice having you here. I don't know how you say your username.
I guess Aija.
Aija. Not sure if that's the right pronunciation, but happy to have you here. Just, this is a lot to take in all in one go. And it's not even like something we can be like, oh, go watch this one video that will sum things up, because it's like, if you want to get in the flow of things, go watch hundreds of hours of videos. And
yeah. So essentially we do this every Thursday at 2 p.m. Outside of rare occasions like Thanksgiving Day, we're not going to be doing it. But next week, 2 p.m. Pacific, we'll be here for 2 hours. We'll finish our sound changes that will get us to a point where we can start creating some actual grammar for this language. And then, bit by bit, we'll get there. And sometime next year, we'll have a more or less full language that we can do stuff with.
yay!
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Made up name. It could be Aja, it could be Asia, or it could be, I was looking at this like Spanish, Aija.
Oh, yeah. Yay. Well, cool. Well,
Yep.
thank you all. We will be back next week to finish sound changes.
I think it'll be done.
And there'll be a good little break before our Thanksgiving actual break. And so have fun. Everyone stay grammar. And we'll see you next Thursday.
Let's check in and make sure that we're going to leave all that in. Yeah, we're going to leave all that in. All right. Very much look forward to seeing you all. And for patrons, don't forget the patron live stream is going to be on the 22nd.
Yes.
Yep. Anyway, so we'll see you all next week. Thanks for being here. Bye, everybody.